renovation project, it is very important that when you highlight within your pictures what you're trying to show that you did, make sure you show what it looked like before and what it looks like after, and we're going to show you an example of that. Include photos of unique, difficult, outstanding features. We talked about that in your narrative. Please make sure that you put that in your narrative section. But if you had a picture that really said a lot, then put it back in section 6, an 8x10 that goes back there to really emphasize the point you're trying to get across. If you have a situation where the owner will not allow you to have photos of the project, then you need to get a letter from them that states that, so you could put it in the front of the book, or in the front of the book and in the photo section. So when the judges are reading it, they understand why there are no photos. And you will not get points taken off for that section. Photographs. Here is an example of the before and after from a renovation perspective. Very simple. They show the top picture shows what it looked like before. The bottom picture shows what it looks like now, and they give you a narrative in a very concise format of what it looks like. So this is a very good example of how you want to do a before and after or renovation type picture. Even if you're trying to highlight a specific point of difficulty or challenging or uniqueness, this is also another way to do that. If you repiped a mechanical room, you could show the spaghetti bowl before, and I keep going, piping, electrical, whatever it may be, show what it looked like before, and then show what it looked like when you redid it, if it was a renovation. Okay? This is the photographs we talked about that are for the program, the Banquet. Please make sure you follow these directions when you look at the application and you submit it. We need a photo. Pick your best photo you want for the awards magazine. We will use up to 3 photos at the Banquet and the PowerPoints. Look at bullet point 3. Please submit 3 different photos. We want to use 3 different photos. We don't want to show the same photo over and over. Excuse me. Judges will not view photos on CD, just looking at the ones that are in the book. And then label the CDs for us. Make sure they're in JPEG format, in a vinyl sleeve, and make sure they're a minimum of 300 DPI. I would just say to you, make them 300 DPI, don't go above that because the files get too large, and for the program it gets a little bit too hard to handle, so just use that format there. This is the schedule. The project has to be complete by August 31st, and it says CO date, but substantial completion. Entry applications are due same time. And then the binders are due a month later on the 1st. And then we will judge them 3 days later. And we will have, I don't know, hopefully we'll have 20 or 25 judges or more depending on how many entries we have. And then right after that, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, you guys will start being notified of the awards that you won, and then if you were nominated for Project of the Year, you will be advised of that, asked to write a narrative. And then the awards banquet is November 15th, and the Project of the Year is announced there. And if you haven't seen the big eagle that you win when you win that award, it is gigantic. It's always good to have that out there. I'm going to run through this real quick, judging, so you have an idea of how we're judging. The judges are an appropriate person is designated a project contact. Judges may recommend to recategorize. This is important. If we haven't recategorized it, the judges may come up and say, you know, this doesn't really fit the category they went in. We'll evaluate that as a committee, and if we agree and you have a better chance of winning, we will reorganize it based on what it should be in. 99% of the time we catch that before we judge, because the committee goes through them, and if we feel that there's a category change, then we notify you of that and tell you why. Judges' scoring may determine no eagle or merit. There is a possibility that in a category someone may not win an eagle or a merit. Just depends on how well you put the book together. You're not nobody's guaranteed to win. It's a quality program. It's based on the work you put together. The two different judging forms, you saw the scoring, GC and subcontractor. Point systems are the same. Total project score determined by entry book photograph safety questions, same thing we talked about before. Individual and composite scores are confidential. This is important. Judges, if you know a judge that scored your project, they have no idea if you won or not. They score based on a 1 through 10 format. We take that format and we put that up against a scoring sheet, and that's how we determine who wins. We take their scoring and then calculate it out. They have no idea who wins when they leave. So they may have scored somebody, you know, all the way down with 7, 6, 8, 9, 10, whatever, but they don't know if that won an eagle or not. So don't ask them if you know one. Results are announced in October. Basically, we're going to announce it to you after the judging. Project of the year is announced at the banquet, and again, judges don't know who wins. So, judging will be October 4th. We said that. Judges will receive 2 free tickets to the banquet. We are always looking for judges, so if you have anybody that you think would be interested, architects and engineers, inspectors, engineering and construction professors, individuals that would enjoy this type of participating in this type of program, please recruit them and email their names and numbers to the ABC staff, and we will get in touch with them. So here's an exciting thing about the program. November 15th, it is in Founders Hall, which is downtown Charlotte, right in the Bank of America Center. If you haven't been in it, it's a beautiful location. It's a new venue. We're trying something new. We've been in the same place for the last 5 years, so we decided to try and move it to a different location. We're going to try and enhance the program a little bit more by throwing a little bit more, hopefully more jazz into the program with some production help. We can make all that work within the budget. So we're trying to really make it stand out this year, being that we're moving to a new venue. So hopefully everybody will be able to participate on November 15th. That is a picture of the hall that we'll be in for the program. I think we are going to have, just so you guys know, on the upper level is where we're going to have the before amenities and stuff like that, and the program will be on the floor down below. Just so you guys know, Eagle Awards, you know, this stuff gets presented on the stage, pictures and summary in the awards program and eligible to enter a national award, in the National ABC Excellence in Construction Program. Merit Awards will receive a trophy listed in the program and eligible to enter national awards, but will not be called up on stage. Honorable mention will be listed in the program. Free Enterprise is a separate award listed in the awards program. A plaque is presented on stage. Again, ABC member companies are listed in the presentation, so they'll be up on the screen. The Carolina Green Award will be a separate trophy. Project information presented in a PowerPoint, again, and listed in the awards program. So here's the idea for those that have not participated before and haven't heard this before. 2013, start planning now. Once you finish 2012's entry, what makes it easier is to try and identify through the year what projects you're going to want to submit, and it may be 5 or 6, but you may not submit all those. But this is what you want to do. You want to plan early. Talk to the project manager about writing down information about the challenging issues on the project. Take photos, put them in a file on the computer. Articles that come out. Anything you can collect during the year makes it a lot easier to put this program together. Some people do that, some people don't. When I used to put these together for my previous employer, we used to collect it through the year. It made it so much easier than having to go back and remember what we did. Just an idea. And then what we're always looking for from everybody that participates is anything that we can do to make the program better. We're always open to suggestions, new committee members, and anything that can enhance the program. So what's your big idea? Let us hear it. We're always open to those comments. So that is the program, and I know I whipped through it pretty quick, so I apologize for that, but we got started late. I'll open it up to any questions. So if you guys are all muting, you can unmute.
I have a question here.
Okay.
Question, you indicated that the project to be eligible had to have a CO date of August 31.
Yes.
What year? 2012 or 2011?
2012.
Thank you.
This year. Basically, as long as you're done by the time you submit it, it's fine. If you have a situation where you're within 1 or 2 days of that, you need to let the committee know that. So we have looked at that before, since this, if I remember correctly, I can't remember if that's a Monday or Friday. But usually if you're within 1 or 2 days of that, if it falls on a weekend, we usually let it go. If it's a Monday and I can't remember, then it'd have to be complete on that date. Are there any other questions?
I have a question. About the photos, you said if you put photos in the book that, like on the summary page that you talked about,
Yes.
are those the photos that have to be in the back? Or you can have more photos throughout the book, but in the back in section 6 is 10 max, right?
That is correct. Yes. You can use whatever you...
30 pictures in it overall, but you need 10 max in the back.
That's correct. You can
Okay.
utilize whatever pictures best help you explain your narrative, and those pictures do not have to match what's in the back of the book.
Thank you.
Good question.
Okay, I have a question. What if one of your projects won an award in a different state? Can you submit that project in North Carolina?
Interesting question. We'll have to get back to you on that. When you get, I'm going to give my email information out here in a minute. If you would email me that question, we will
Okay.
send that to the committee. I don't know if we've ever discussed that, so I do not want to answer that question without discussing with the committee.
Okay, thank you.
We'll broadcast the answer once we get it.
I have another question. The national award, is that a whole different submission, or is it you just pass this one off to the national?
It is a totally different submission, but we have tailored our program to align with national, so there's not a lot of work you have to do to adjust it for national.
Okay.
You basically can almost duplicate the book. There's a few things that are a little different, but not a lot.
Oh. So when is the national?
You know, I don't know when it is.
Like months
Theirs is
later?
usually due in November. Usually you know if you've won an eagle or not.
We'll let you know, but I think Rachel said they're due in November. I didn't look it up to see, but we'll get that answer for you.
I had another question. How many submissions, how many books are we giving you? One?
Yeah, we only need one entry book.
You'll get it back, Cindy.
Okay.
And make sure you
And that's one thing too, yeah, we do keep. But you have to get your application in, on the 31st of your time to put it in.
Any other questions?
You can submit as many as you want.
Right. But you have to have those applications.
Good point. There was a question about accessing the PowerPoint. We did video the PowerPoint presentation with me talking, which I know is boring, but that will be put on the ABC website, ABC of the Carolinas website, and so will the PowerPoint if it already isn't there.
Here are the dates for national.
National, yes I do. Deadline for project completion is October 15th. This is to answer the question for national submission. Deadline for project completion is October 15th. Deadline for online registration is November 2nd. So you'll know in advance, you'll know about the 7th of October if you won an Eagle or a Merit and are eligible to submit. Deadline for binders is November 19th.